Mesothelioma is an aggressive cancer of the mesothelial cells. These cells exist in the lining that covers the outer surface of the body's organs. Mesothelioma occurs most often in the pleura, or the lining of the lungs. However, the cancer can also attack the linings of the heart and abdomen. The main cause is exposure to asbestos. In 2015, the fatality rate for mesothelioma in the United States, US, was 10.93 per million people. Only 9% of those diagnosed with mesothelioma live longer than 5 years. Cancers happen when there is uncontrolled division of mutated cells. Mesothelioma is an aggressive form of cancer, meaning that it progresses and spreads quickly. There are 3 types. Pleural mesothelioma is the most common form. It affects the pleura, or the lining around the lungs. Peritoneal mesothelioma is the second most common form. It attacks the lining of the abdomen, called the peritoneum. Pericardial mesothelioma is the rarest form. It affects the protective layer of the heart. 55% of those with mesothelioma survive for 6 months after diagnosis, and 33% survive for a year. It can take up to 30 years for symptoms to show after exposure to asbestos particles and dust. Diagnosis often happens when the disease is already advanced. The outcome depends on how early the malignancy can be diagnosed. Mesothelioma is directly linked to exposure to a combination of 6 minerals made from long, thin fibers called asbestos. Asbestos is a group of minerals that occur naturally. They exist as fibers or bundles. These fibers may be found in soil or rocks and exist in many parts of the world naturally. Asbestos is made of silicon, oxygen and some other elements. Asbestos is used in a range of products, especially building materials, including siding, floor tiles, ceiling materials, and roof shingles. Its presence is also found in friction products, such as brake parts, as well as heat-resistant fabrics, packaging, coatings, and gaskets. It was often used in the past to insulate products and buildings and make them soundproof or fireproof. When asbestos products are installed, repaired, or demolished, the fibers can become airborne. They can then be inhaled or swallowed and become permanently lodged in the lungs, for decades in some cases. Other organs can also be affected. Mesothelioma can develop from these fibers. Who is at risk? The likelihood of developing mesothelioma is directly proportional to the length of exposure to asbestos, and how much a person inhaled. People in jobs with high exposure, such as on construction sites, steel mills, or power plants, have the highest risk of developing the disease.